What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into another fantastic edition of The Locker Room on SBTV. My name is Alex Strouf. Joining me on The Locker Room today is Ben Zitouni on the end. Good afternoon, Ben.
Hey Alex and Jake. How's it going, guys?
Ben?
Doing well. Also joining me, Ben, as Ben said, is Jacob Sennholz. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
Living the dream, man. I'm ready to talk some sports, so let's do that. Starting with Pointers basketball. The men's team is coming off a big win over UW Stout on Saturday with an 80-63 final score. Cannon O'Hearn led the way with 19 points, while Nate Dodge had 18. The guys are tied for first place atop the WIAC with a 10-2 record overall, in conference play, alongside UW Platteville. Remaining ahead for the Dogs is a Valentine's Day date with UW Oshkosh, who beat the Pointers just 2.5 weeks ago in a Saturday matchup at UW Eau Claire. Guys, what can we expect out of these final two games for the Dogs?
Well, first I just kind of want to go back to Saturday's game a little bit. Man, when that offense is clicking, they work pretty well. And also, Nate Dodge should be playing every single minute of every single game.
Yeah, and he didn't play much in that first half.
Exactly. And when he, from what I saw from the game on Saturday, when he was in, that offense was flowing really well, especially with him and MJ Delamore hitting the threes.
Yeah, Nate Dodge, 6 of 9 from three-point range against UW Stout. All of his points came off three-pointers. That guy's been insane this year as a transfer student. This is his first year here in Point as a junior. He has been absolutely insane, and that was definitely a fun one to watch. Jake, but the question was, what can we expect out of these final two games?
Yeah, well, and you mentioned all the three-pointers, and that's kind of the way basketball is going, like it or not. It's live by the three, die by the three, seems like a lot of the time. And I think I agree with a lot of what Ben said, and I think this team's in a really good spot. And it's definitely not too much to expect to finish out the season with 2 wins.
So as we mentioned, UW Oshkosh on Valentine's Day, Ben, and then UW Eau Claire away on Saturday. What are your expectations of these final two games?
I think they'll win both games. I think they only lost to Oshkosh, which you said like 2 weeks ago. I think they only lost by like maybe 12, 11.
It wasn't an absolute blowout, but it wasn't as close as it seemed.
Yeah, I think the point. I think they'll finish 2-0 and get some momentum back on their side. They got some back after losing to Platteville last week, but they'll be rolling come tournament time, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and Saturday is also Senior Day, so come on out and watch the Pointers take on.
Tomorrow's Senior Day.
Tomorrow day.
We're on the road on Saturday.
Valentine's
Day date for the seniors.
For the seniors, all right.
And so
I had bad information. That's my fault.
You're backwards. It's all good. Do you expect Stevens Point to share at least a piece of the title with UW Platteville, or will they win the WIAC title outright? What do you guys think is going to happen for the men's basketball team here? We'll start with you, Ben.
If I was a betting man,
you seem conflicted.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, which I am sometimes, don't bet on Pointer sports though. But I think it's more likely that they'll share the title than win it outright. I don't see. I don't know. I think Platteville's playing Whitewater and someone else these last 2 games, and I don't see
Whitewater and River Falls.
Yeah. I really don't. I think Platteville is more likely to split those last 2 games than to lose both those games.
Right.
So I think a share is the most likely outcome that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think they'll share it too, and that's totally fine. It's a great accomplishment for this team.
A conference title is a conference title. I'm going to go ahead and agree. I think both teams are probably going to win out. Platteville, noteworthy. Both of those games are at home for them.
That's a huge advantage for them.
And obviously Stevens Point on the road on Saturday, but at home against Oshkosh definitely going to help as Oshkosh South team. So all 3 of us, it's a unanimous selection rather, that they will probably end up splitting the title. Moving on to men's hockey now, the second-ranked team nationally wrapped up their regular season on Saturday with a 4-4 tie at home against Eau Claire. Guys, what are your expectations moving into the conference tournament and the postseason?
Next weekend they'll be playing the winner of River Falls and Superior, who are playing this weekend, so they'll get them next weekend, and I really expect it to be a rematch with Eau Claire in the conference championship game 2 weekends from now. So that's what I see happening.
And obviously, Ben, you've been at a lot of these games. Eau Claire was a solid game on Saturday.
It was a great game. Their goaltender, his name escapes me at the moment, but
Diamond. Zach Diamond.
Yeah, Zach. Great goaltending out of him and Max Milosik too. Back and forth game. Each team was matching each other goal for goal, and there was not intensity lacking in the game. I'll say that. There was a little bit of chirpiness happening, and everybody knows, especially with hockey, come playoff time, everything gets ratcheted up tenfold. So we'll see how it goes.
And Jake, obviously, you know hockey just about as good as anybody in this room right now. So talk to me, man. What are your expectations for these Pointers? Obviously, a head full of steam right now. Second-ranked team nationally, behind only Adrian, who they swept. So anything's possible going forward, right?
Yeah, and I fully expect them to keep winning, keep playing great hockey as they've been playing definitely the second half of the season, but pretty much all season long. You got your last push in your senior goalie, Max Milosic, so he's going to be, and also Tanner Carty, other seniors that are going to be really motivated to play their best tournament. I could definitely see them coming face-to-face with the Blue Golds again, who gave them a heck of a game the other day. But luckily, Point has had Eau Claire's number within recent years, and hopefully that success continues.
So let's move from hopefully to predictions. We'll get your comment real quick.
No matter what happens, the Pointers do have home ice advantage, so we'll at least get one more game at the Willett Arena this season, which will definitely be fun.
Awesome.
Saturday, it was the loudest I've ever.
Really?
Out of all the games I've been to since I've been going here, I think maybe one other game in the playoffs against Adrian a couple years ago topped it. It was so loud on Saturday.
With the thunder sticks that they were getting, the complimentary thunder sticks.
Yeah, it was loud in there. It was, oh man, that atmosphere was amazing. I can only imagine what it was like playing in it.
So last question on this men's hockey team, guys. We were talking hopefully they can get it done. I want to know if they will get it done. Will they win both the regular season title and the conference tournament title? Jake, we'll start with you.
I believe they will. They're simply the best team. They're the second best team in the nation. Obviously, you can't.
According to some.
According to some. But obviously, you can't overlook any part of a tournament, any team that you're going to be facing. But this team ultimately does have its eyes set on nationals, set on a national title, and you got to take steps to get there. Winning your conference tournament is going to be the first one.
Obviously, a huge one. Ben, on to you.
Yeah, they're going to get both done. This team kind of reminds me of the team 2 seasons ago that won the national title.
Titles, yeah.
Max was a sophomore at the time that they had a bigger group of seniors then, but it seems like the seniors that are on the team are the leaders. Max, Willem, Nong, Lambert, they're leading the team, and then they have underclassmen, juniors, sophomores, freshmen that are filling in the pieces, and when they need scoring, they get it. So it's going to be a fun team to watch. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, and it'll be really great for all these young players to contribute at a high level and
get the
experience, and so that if they're back there in 2 years again, they're going to have the experiences that, like I said, Max and Carty do at this point. So.
And Willem Nong Lambert, as Ben mentioned, obviously 3 studs for this Pointers team. We're in agreement today, guys. I got to agree. I don't see anybody stopping this Pointers team in the conference tournament. Moving on to the NBA now. The NBA trade deadline is behind us, and the future in front of us should be a pretty exciting one as a result of what occurred late last week. The Cleveland Cavaliers led the charge, shipping Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Jay Crowder, Channing Frye, Eamon Shumpert, and Derrick Rose out of Cleveland, adding the likes of Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., Rodney Hood, and George Hill. A trade closer to home saw Rashad Vaughn traded from Milwaukee to Brooklyn in exchange for big guy Tyler Zeller. Milwaukee also sent a second-round pick in that one. Guys, what was your favorite move before the deadline? Ben, over to you.
I don't really know if I have a favorite move. I mean, I wasn't necessarily surprised that the Bucks shipped out Rashad Vaughn. I don't really think he's playing well enough consistently to make himself part of the Bucks' plans for the future. I really think they could have gotten that deal done for Zeller straight up without that second round
I didn't
pick.
understand the second-round pick, but regardless, nice to get a big body.
As for the other deal you mentioned with the Cavs, and what was it, there's 6 players they traded?
6 out and 4 in, I believe.
Yeah, so almost almost bringing in a brand new team. But anyway, things weren't jiving between LeBron and Isaiah Thomas, and if everybody knows, it's no secret, if you don't get along well with LeBron in Cleveland, you're not going to be a member of the Cavs for long. I guess maybe shipping out Dwayne Wade surprised me a little bit, based on the friendship him and LeBron have, but the fact that he went back home to Miami didn't surprise me.
Jake, did you have a favorite move from this deadline? Obviously, a lot of hecticness going on across the league, if you will.
Yeah, I don't have any sort of stake in the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I really like what they did for their franchise for this year. Because I think most people think LeBron is moving on. I don't think these moves are enough to keep him around. It looks like it's working. It's obviously working a lot better than what they had in place. LeBron actually looks happy instead of like just frustrated and overwhelmed on the sidelines, and they are gelling super nice, but they shipped out a very high round pick, first round pick as well, I believe, in this deal, as well as those 6 players. So if it doesn't work this year, I don't really see much happening for the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise in the near future at all. They've kind of mortgaged everything for this 1 year, and even if they get through the East, you still got to go up against those Warriors. So I'm not sure what's going to happen after this year for the Cavs.
Yeah, I agree, but we've got to look at we've got a lot of things to talk about these trades real quickly. But Isaiah Thomas and Lonzo Ball now teaming up in the backcourt for the LA Lakers. Kind of interesting to see that. Ben, I know you're not a huge Lonzo Ball guy, but
nope.
Currently injured. But your thoughts on Isaiah going out to LA?
I mean, good for him. He was obviously hurt with the hip injury going into Cleveland. That affected him. He wasn't driving well in the offense. We'll see how this goes. Maybe if he plays consistently well with Lonzo, he can play himself into a starting role. Who knows? There's no pressure on him. Everybody knows the Lakers aren't going to the playoffs this year. They're still in that rebuilding mode. Right. So maybe Isaiah could make himself somewhat of the plans for the future with the Lakers. If not, maybe he could see himself on the move in the offseason again to a contender team. Maybe like the Warriors or something.
Right.
I think Isaiah Thomas might have made out best in this deal. Nothing is working in Cleveland. It wasn't a place he wanted to be. He gets to go to LA, and I think it's going to be great because Lonzo, I think he's a good player, contrary to Ben, and I think he does everything well already except for score the basketball. And if you bring in somebody who has the capability of putting up 25 to 40 points every single night, it might make up some of that scoring deficit, especially if he comes off the bench that Lonzo's not giving you. So Lonzo then frees him up to do everything else, and Isaiah can come in and drop 20 to 22 points.
We have to take our first commercial break, but we'll talk more about this on the other end. You're tuned in to The Locker Room on SBTV.
How can you get involved with student media at UWSP? Connecting with your campus television station, SBTV, is easy. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Vine, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Pinterest, follow us on Instagram, or connect with us on Google+. But of course, the best way for you to get involved and stay up to date with all that is happening at our station is to stop by our studio. We're located in the Communication Arts Center at UWSP, Studio B, Room 121. You can also drop by our office, Room 130, for more information on station happenings. We can't wait to get you involved. Come join us at SPTV. Let's make media together.
Welcome back to The Locker Room. Continuing our NBA discussion now, the reigning Eastern Conference champion Cleveland Cavaliers clearly replaced their starting line, as we mentioned earlier. So far, it looks like it's paid off. The Cavaliers destroyed the Boston Celtics on Sunday, ruining Paul Pierce's jersey retirement day with a final score of 121 to 99. Riddle me this, gentlemen: are the Cavs the top threat in the Eastern Conference? Ben?
Who knows? Going into this season, when someone asked me what my finals prediction was, and I said Cavs Warriors again, and I'll be taking a nap in early June because I won't be watching Cavs Warriors again for the fourth straight. It'll be the fourth straight season. Sure, why not? I'll just stick with my preseason prediction. Who knows? I mean, the Raptors the Raptors, I believe, are the first seed. They're looking hot.
Celtics are second.
Celtics are second. I think the Celtics, don't rule them out yet, even though they obviously struggled against the Cavs on Sunday.
And obviously we mentioned the Cavaliers' struggles, Jake, so I want to ask you the same question. Do you think they're back to being that front runner in the Eastern Conference?
It kind of looks like it. I think we'll know more for sure when May comes around. Maybe even a little bit sooner than that, but there's some good basketball being played in the East right now, and anything can happen when you reach the postseason. Cleveland, I believe, this year more than ever is capable of being beat 4 out of 7 games. So just because of defensive inefficiencies and everything that LeBron has had to do to make up for his teammates' lack and just everything.
Yeah, before these trades, I probably wouldn't have said the Cavaliers are the front runner in the Eastern Conference just because of all the despair and all the adversity this team was dealing with. But now looking at it, adding the young Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, Rodney Hood, and then the veteran George Hill, I think adding the quad group of these guys and potentially four starters or 3 starters out of those 4 that they traded and acquired for, I think this puts this team on another level in the Eastern Conference. They weren't battling well with a team like the Raptors that you mentioned, Ben, and a team like the Celtics. They would have never blown them out 121-99.
No, not with that
3 weeks ago. Right, exactly. So, I mean, they got some of their new pieces in, and that was the first game they got to hit the floor, and they win $121-99. So obviously, I think it's safe to say right now that the Cavaliers are the front runner in the Eastern Conference. On to the aforementioned Bucks now. They've won 8 of their last 10 games and are ranked 5th in the Eastern Conference. Giannis Antetokounmpo continues to shine, averaging over 26 points and 10 rebounds per game, is starting in his second straight All-Star game this weekend. First off, the Bucks are obviously riding a tremendous wave of momentum into the second half of the season. The fans, the players, and everybody else is clearly excited because of this team. First question, what can this team do heading into half number 2 of the season and, knock on wood, the postseason? Ben.
Well, I would have liked to have seen them acquire a big man during the deadline, I think.
Other than Tyler Zeller, who probably won't have a ton of minutes.
I'm not trying to be mean here, but someone who's good. I think they really miss Greg Monroe. That deal was good at the time because they weren't getting much out of the point guard position, but now you're seeing that Bledsoe is extremely one-sided. Then they're missing that defensive piece down under the hoop. Who knows? Maybe they could bring in someone like Andrew Bogut. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think the Bucks are still in a good spot. The Bucks are slowly bringing back Jabari, which is the right thing to do. And this much-needed rest this weekend with the All-Star break is going to help them. And I still think the Bucks are going to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a couple key things. I think you mentioned the All-Star break. They got to come out of the break strong. If you throw it all the way back to last year's Brewers team that kind of was in a similar position where everybody was so high on them and they were rolling and just playing super awesome baseball, and then they come out of the All-Star break and it took them 2 weeks to get things back together, and that ultimately cost them the season. And I would hate to see that same thing happen to the Bucks. I really think the Bucks are capable of a 3, 4, maybe 5 seed at the lowest. I don't think they're a 7 or 8 seed squad this year. I really don't think they are. So a couple key things, as I mentioned. Stay the course, play well out of break, and they also just got to get healthy. They have a lot of injuries right now. Yeah. They're considering bringing Brandon Jennings back up to the league.
Yeah, he signed with the Herd today.
Yep, signed with the Herd, and that's obviously a sign of, hey, we have no guards right now. So, yeah, I think as soon as they get healthy, as long as they stay on this path, I think things are looking good. We might even win a first-round series, depending on who we get matched up against.
Yeah, it's currently in the 5 seed. I agree with you, Jake, 100%. I don't think this is even a 5, 6, 7, 8 seed, maybe a 5 seed at the worst, because given the Eastern Conference, you have the solid Wizards team, but they're hurt right now without John Wall. You have a Celtics team with solid, a Cavaliers team, and a Raptors team. This Bucks team might be better than that Wizards team that I mentioned.
I'd say they are.
I agree.
They're better than the Wizards are now because the Wizards don't have John Wall.
Right.
If the Wizards had John Wall, that'd probably be a different story.
And I think, I mean, come playoff time, though, I think that's if the season ended today, and I hate that phrase, but if the season did end today, that's the series we would see in the postseason, and that would be definitely an exciting one. So let's move on. Secondly, we mentioned the success that Giannis Antetokounmpo is having yet again. No surprise, but with that success, I want to know, will you guys watch Giannis team up with Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, and James Harden in this weekend's All-Star game? Jake, I'll start with you.
I probably will tune into the All-Star game. I usually throw it on in the background, or if I heard that it was a really good game, I might catch a rerun of it or something, but I'll watch it at some point. I think it'll be a decent team. I like the new aspect.
Format,
I like the new format, the drafting, and you get to see high level, high talent like Steph Curry throwing up alley-oops to Giannis. Like, who isn't going to want to see that? You know, I don't like when it's 180 to 175 final score, but it's like that's kind of what you get these days. Seems like.
Ben, will you be watching the All-Star game?
Well, we were talking about this before the show today, and I mentioned last year Giannis was the only reason I watched the All-Star game because Giannis was the only person giving a what about the game. So, yeah, I'll tune in this year, and I expect Giannis to win MVP of the All-Star game.
I was just about to say, if he's the only one that's given a you-know-what, do you think he's going to win MVP? We have your prediction, Jake?
Yeah, I think he's in position too. He seems to care about it more often, and He's a fun personality that everybody loves. So yeah, I think he'll make the MVP.
Let's move on to some football talk now. Let's jump into a brand new segment, a genius segment that I introduced that I'd like to call NFL Quick Hits. So first down, where will quarterback Kirk Cousins end up signing? Ben?
Arizona. Going to be a Cardinal.
Okay. Jake?
He should go to Denver. If he doesn't go to Denver, I literally don't understand. I don't understand John Elway or Kirk Cousins. I don't understand. He should be in Denver already.
So I've heard he's considering Cleveland, but obviously quarterbacks go to die there. Don't think it'll happen. Arizona, yeah, but he only has one more year left, probably, of Larry Fitzgerald.
And an old Adrian Peterson as well.
Exactly. So I agree with Jake. I think he's going to probably end up going to Denver.
It shouldn't be a thought. And Denver has had quarterback troubles and quarterback problems ever since Manning left, and they barely won with him. Like, this is a gift being dropped in your lap right now if you're Denver. And like I said, I don't know how they haven't signed him. They should throw Jimmy Garoppolo money or more at him right now.
Let's blow the whistle. Second down. What position should the Packers address in the first round of the upcoming NFL draft?
Man, your guess is as good as mine, guys. I was kind of looking at this last night, looking at the mock drafts. One had the Packers taking James Washington out of Oklahoma State, wide receiver. But I think the Packers are going to go defense. I say maybe a tie between a nose tackle, a defensive end, or an outside linebacker. Maybe we'll see.
Jake, what do you think?
I've been saying I don't have exact name. I want somebody that can rush the passer. I don't care who it is, where he's from. I want somebody that can effectively rush the passer and can do it for more than 1 or 2 seasons. Like, I want somebody that's going to come in and actually participate right away, affect the defense, affect the team right away, and is going to stay around and be effective. I don't want to throw shade at Clay Matthews, but it's like everybody says he hasn't been the same player ever since he got a big payday, and I just hope we can get another old Clay Matthews in on our team.
Roquan Smith from Georgia.
And what I wanted to address quick with the new management around, given the past management, they didn't have the best luck when it came to drafting defensive linemen. You had B.J. Raji, who was good for solid years, probably the best one you had.
Kenny Clark's
but then
on
you
the
had
up and up.
Kenny Clark, who is on the up and up, Mike Daniels, but then it falls off where you have Justin Harrell, a first-round pick, Dayton Jones, a first-round pick. Jarrell Worthy, a first-round trade.
Early second-round pick.
Early second-round, yeah.
Latroy Guion, who caused you so much trouble.
A trade that he got. Yeah. Third down, 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo just signed a max extension. I want to know, guys, is he the answer? And he's undefeated for San Francisco. Will he get them back to their old ways? Ben?
I think he will. That offense still needs some weapons. I don't know.
Line to start with.
Yeah, their line. Who is it? Which one of the Garrett Selleck's out there as a tight end? I don't really know if he's the answer. Definitely need 1 or 2 more wide receivers. I don't know if Carlos Hyde is exactly the answer at running back yet. He's a good running back, but I still think they need something to put him up over the top. But Garoppolo is the answer at quarterback.
Jacob?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Offensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if every single player they draft this year is an offensive lineman because the team in itself, they're getting a little bit older, some questionable positions. But Jimmy went there at the end of the year, and after 2 weeks, went undefeated, went 6-0 with them. So, in theory, you would think he can perform with that same offensive weapons next year. But you just invested that much money into that guy. Get him 5 excellent linemen.
There you go. And guys, did Tom Brady start 7-0 in his career? Didn't think so. Fourth down. What will it take for the Packers to win the Super Bowl next year? Real quick, Ben, we'll start with you again.
Real quick, a bunch of things. Rodgers staying healthy, consistent rushing attack, improved pass rush, and improved secondary.
Yeah, entire team staying healthy. Not just Rodgers. We have injuries all over the place all the time, it seems. Solid defensive scheme and a defense that buys in. And Aaron Rodgers being himself, I think, equals. And something to go our way in the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
we also need that.
Yeah.
Brian Bostic, we're looking at you, buddy. But yeah, the answer is 7 letters. D-E-F-E-N-S-E, defense. We need that. Let's take our final commercial break before we touch on the 2018 Winter Olympics and play a round of buy or sell to wrap up our show.
Be a part of something super Greek at UWSP. There are 9 chapters and colonies on campus. Phi Sigma Phi, Gamma Phi Delta, Theta Xi, Sigma Delta Rho, Sigma Tau Gamma, Delta Phi Epsilon, Tau Kappa Epsilon, Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia, and Phi Omega. Greek life at UWSP is a great way to build your personal support system and resume. With Greek life at UWSP, you won't just be a member, but a happy friend to the chapters and colonies for life. See what opportunities Greek life could offer you.
Great opportunity to promote leadership, a great way to get connections, and also to build bonds between different groups.
You get the opportunity to grow yourself as a leader and as a person, both through your organization and connections through Inter-Greek Council and other avenues like that.
Greek life isn't what you see in the movies. I recommend checking out one of the recruitment events for the organizations and just seeing maybe you belong there.
Welcome back to the locker room. Alex Strouf, joined by Ben Zitouni and Jacob Sennholz. Trivia question for you guys. Which gold medalist at this year's Olympics has the name of 2 Kardashian sisters combined?
Chloe Kim.
Genius. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. I saw Chloe Kim trending on Twitter on whatever it was, Saturday or Sunday, and I thought maybe they just were in like a fight and it was trending on Twitter for some reason, because I haven't watched any of the Olympics. So I want to know, have you guys been keeping up with the Olympics at all? I haven't watched any.
Yeah, I watched men's and women's U.S. hockey, both their first games from over the weekend. I saw the replay of both of them. Other than that, I saw a little bit of the luge the other day.
Luge.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I've been watching pretty much everything. Shout out to my parents for having cable that I can log into and watch on my laptop during class. But anyway, I watched pretty much everything, from curling to figure skating to snowboarding, especially all different types of skiing. My favorite's been snowboarding so far, just because that's exciting, big air and everything. But I have watched tons and tons of the Olympics, and I cannot wait to watch the men's hockey team. First time since that 1980 Olympics team that it'll be non-NHL players. So.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the only part I'm really excited, looking forward to, if you will, is the men's hockey, because that's the only part of the Winter Olympics I ever watch. So for me, the Winter Olympics isn't always very exciting, especially compared to the Summer Olympics. So to appeal like fans like me, what 2 Winter Olympic sports should they combine? My vote is curling and figure skating.
Man, I'm gonna go with luge. I don't know. Maybe luge and ski jump.
Okay.
You're on your back for the luge, but you're going down the ski jump.
Yeah. Okay.
That could be dangerous. But that would be fun to watch.
I wrote in my notes, we're going to turn mine into Wipeout, but yours is going to be even more of that show that used to be called Wipeout. Yeah. Jake.
Yeah, I like Ben's idea way more. Mine was like to take a snowboard off a jump and a curling rock off the jump, and then you got to kind of land the curling rock on a target as you do a trick. Something like that. I don't know, but Ben's is way cooler.
See, we need
lose your skeleton off the ski jump.
We need to go to the Olympic board with this. Let's wrap up our show with some buy or sell. Buy or sell number 1. Rookie Dennis Smith Jr. of the Dallas Mavericks will win the dunk contest this weekend. His opponents are Victor Oladipo of the Pacers, Larry Nance Jr. freshly of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Donovan Mitchell of the 10-win straight Utah Jazz. Will Dennis Smith win?
I'm going to sell that.
You're going to sell. Who do you think is going to win?
Larry Nance Jr.
Okay. Jake?
I'll buy it just because Aaron Gordon's not in it, and I think he would have won hands down this year if he was. But
yeah, I'm going to buy it as well. I think Dennis Smith is just electrifying. Even when he was in college, everybody said he should be in the dunk contest.
He's explosive. It's crazy.
Definitely.
Giannis should be in the dunk contest.
Yes, he should be. Sticking with the NBA All-Star Weekend, buy or sell, anybody besides Klay Thompson wins the three-point contest. If you're selling this, you will be saying Klay Thompson's going to win. Notable opponents for him are Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards, Paul George of my Oklahoma City Thunder, and Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors. Buy or sell, anybody besides Klay Thompson wins the three-point contest.
No, you said selling would...
Selling would mean he's going to win it.
Yeah, so I'm selling it.
You think Klay Thompson's going to win it?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yeah, a total sell for me as well. He's probably the best, most pure shooter in the league, if not one of the top 2, his teammate being the other one. And I think he takes All-Star Weekend to remind everybody, hey, I'm still amazing. I'm still great. I may get lost in the crowd sometimes in the Warriors, but I'm the best shooter in the league.
Sorry, guys, but I got to buy it. I'm thinking either my guy PG-13, but I don't think he's going to win it. Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards is my dark horse. I think that guy is just a dead sharpshooter from outside. Buy or sell, coming back to Wisconsin now. Ryan Braun will be a Brewer come opening day, Ben.
Buy. I I think if he gets dealt, it's going to be during the season.
Okay.
I totally buy it. I think he retires as a Brewer. I don't think Ryan Braun's ever leaving at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it as well. I just wanted to throw that in there because the reports came out last night that they were possibly in talks with the Dodgers for Matt Kemp. Yeah.
It's possible, but I don't know.
Two more. Buy or sell. The UWSP men's hockey team will win the national title, Ben.
Buy it times 1,000.
Oh, okay. Put a lot of money down on that one.
Yep, buy it. They number 2 should be number 1, and everything we mentioned earlier in the show, they're going to win.
Buy in. Let's really wrap it up now. Buy or sell. UW Platteville's men's basketball team will lose to either Whitewater or River Falls at home this week.
I'm going to buy it. They're going to lose to one of those two.
So you think Stevens Point's going to win it outright? Because if they lose one and Stevens Point wins out, Stevens Point wins it outright.
All right, I'll go with sell. I'll sell it. Okay. I'm gonna change it real quick.
I guess I'll buy it. End of the season, maybe they're looking over an opponent, something happens, they end up losing.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm gonna buy it as well. That's our show. Special thanks to our technical staff. You rock, Michael, and to Ben and Jake for joining me today. It's always a pleasure. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at SPTV UWSP Television or follow us on Twitter at SPTV_UWSP. Also visit the UWSP homepage to locate all your Pointer athletic information. My name is Alex Strouf. Until next time.